Alright, hello and welcome to class. I do apologize for not being at school today, but I wanted to go through a couple of items with you. You already have the homework. It is the homework that I gave you yesterday, but I wanted to do a couple of example proofs and to remind you of a couple of items. The first is that a number of folks have moved and worked on into the next sections, not next sections, but the further sections, and there's some mention of flow proofs. I had told you when we first started working with proofs not to do flow proofs, that we wouldn't be doing them. Just to remind you of that, don't do flow proofs, just do two-column proofs. If they ask you to do a proof, just automatically go to a two-column. As well, any of those two-column proofs you should be using your proof sheets for. There's a bunch of them stacked over in the black stackers up against the wall. It's a really nice way of keeping things organized. The other thing I'll tell you is that as you're going through this, you really want to be working on memorizing those 5 methods of proving congruence. You want to be working through some of those basic ideas. At the end of the day, you're going to need to know all 3 of them, or excuse me, all 5 of them. And they are, of course, side, 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 then side, angle, 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 side, and then, of course, HL. So make sure that you can replicate those, make sure that you recognize them. We're going to do some work with those recognitions on Thursday. You are already starting to do some of the recognitions, and then you'll, of course, have that quiz on Friday. So what I want to do is to have you come I want to do a couple of proofs for you, and we'll kind of talk through some of that methodology. So let's start with this one. So my statement says that I want to prove that these 2 triangles are congruent, VXW and XYZ. I went ahead and wrote out what the givens were. I had VX is congruent to XY. If I don't already have my congruency marks, I'm going to go ahead and put those in. The nice part about doing that, and of course on your proof sheets, not in the book, is that I have that visual representation of what's happening. Then I have XW and YZ, and I have that XW and YZ are parallel. If you remember our work with the parallel system was to say that we had these little arrows. Of course your arrows are going to look much better than mine, but that's a nice way of us talking. Okay, so what I need to know, of course, is how I can show that these things are parallel, or excuse me, that these things are congruent. So I have 2 sides. Well, if I think through my various methodologies, right, so I'll just list them out again. If I think through what I have and what I need, automatically I should really start to think, well, I probably don't really want to mess with this one, right? Angle, side, angle, probably not what I need. Angle, angle, side, well, I have 2 sides already, then I'm not going to use that one. HL, right triangles, definitely not. So I'm left with side, 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 and side, angle, side. Well, that would mean that I would need to either figure out this side and this side, or based on what I have here, look at this angle and this angle. And I'm going to go ahead and just mark in that angle because, lo and behold, I noticed something about these 2 angles. This line is parallel to this line. I've got a transversal. I have 2 angles. In fact, I have those 2 angles that are corresponding angles. Well, that's all I need. Because if I have that, then I have my 2 sides. I have the included angle. I've got side, angle, side. So let's go ahead and write that statement down. I have angle VXW is congruent to angle XYZ, and that is because they are corresponding angles. So, that's fine there. Corresponding angles, and the corresponding angles was a posture. All right, so I want to check. I have side, angle, and side. So I have all the information I need. I'm going to write my statement. Triangle VXW is congruent to triangle XYZ, and that's by side, angle, side, congruence, posture. I check. My last statement, of course, is my proof statement. Okay, let's do another. All right, here, I want to prove that triangle ABK, so I'm going to see where that is. ABK is congruent to triangle CBJ. CBJ. Okay, so I've got those. Now, I have some givens. I have that AK and CJ are the same. Well, I don't really have a way to notate that. I'll just leave it alone for right now. Then I have BJK and BKJ are both congruent, so I mark those. And angle A and C are congruent. Okay, so again, let's think through what I have. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and HL. All right, automatically, we don't have right triangles, HL off the list. I have one side, I have two angles, probably not going to be side, side, side. But I do have all these others. So what I want to do now is I want to start thinking about what it is that I'm actually looking at. And sometimes when I do this, and if you have the ability to use a highlighter, it's kind of nice. I have this triangle, and I'm going to try and see if it is congruent to this triangle. Now, I do know one thing. I do know that, in fact, this piece, AK, and CJ are the same. Well, is that enough information there? Do I have all the pieces I need? I have angles. Those angles. I have a side. I have a side. Do I have everything there? And the answer is yes. I have angle, side, angle. Now, this is a great proof because there's really nothing new that we're doing here. In fact, if I wanted to, I could add in a couple steps I may not necessarily need, but really, what this picture does is kind of confuse us. But by going through and showing the various triangles, I can very quickly and easily see that I have the information I need. ABK is congruent to CBJ. So I'll just write that out. Triangle ABK is congruent to triangle CBJ, and that is by angle, side, angle, congruence, posture. Now, this is a very, very simple proof. Okay? And I do know that I will be giving you other ones that will have extra steps. But this proof is nice because it takes us through the steps that we would need to use. It takes us through this. Okay? What information do I have? What methods are valid? Which ones are not? And then I just start to put pieces together. All right, with the remaining time, I want you to continue to work on your homework. You should be able to get through most of it, if not all of it. If you run into problems, of course, use your peers. Your peers know a lot more than they think that they know. And then, of course, tomorrow we will return, or I will return, and we'll come back and we'll spend some more time with this material. Have a good rest of the day.